Bad Juju is one of the best pulse rifles in Destiny 2, for the sole reason of it having 4 perks in its one exotic perk. The weapon is pretty incredible, and I would put it above Outbreak Perfected in how good it is. However, I will first let Toland himself describe the weapon in his own words, which is taken from the start of the quest that you actually play in the Leviathan in order to get Bad Juju.
What a trip. If you believe your weapon wants to further all existence, then so it will. Call it a little bad juju, if you please.
Toland's description is pretty accurate because, as I've said, the exotic perk is 4 perks in one, and the first one is actually kills you fill the magazine. That doesn't sound like anything too crazy, but the second one is increased damage for a short duration, and then also grants super energy based on the strength of String of Curses. The weapon also fires full auto, just to tip it off. So, kills you fill the magazine, I would like to envision as a version of Outlaw for exotic weapons, where Outlaw obviously you get a precision kill, reload your weapon faster. With Bad Juju, you get a kill in general, and it refills your magazine entirely. You don't have to reload, ever. It also increases damage for a short duration, but it also stacks like Rampage. So you basically have an Outlaw, which is extremely buffed, paired with Rampage, which also gives you super energy on just a kill in general, and it also stacks with Rampage, and then the weapon also fires full auto. So you literally have 4 perks in one with this exotic perk. Hipfire Grip is the other noteworthy perk, which says that it is increased accuracy and stability when firing from the hip, which isn't anything too noteworthy, but it just means it's a bit easier to get kills when you're hip firing, which is useful I suppose. So the appearance of the weapon is what you'd expect, to be honest. It's the exact same from Destiny 1. It looks just like a Toland weapon, as what you would imagine Toland's weapon to look like, I'd say, with the bird skull on the front of it and all the weird symbols on it and everything like that. It looks like a cool weapon, and the ornaments also look pretty decent. I don't have any of the ornaments, but I think the only ornament I've actually bought is the Whisper ornament, the Hive Whisper ornament, but Bad Juju's ornaments look pretty good as well, but I just like the way base Bad Juju looks anyway. So the lore I will put on screen as well. I can't remember what it is, but I just remember the favourite text is from Toland's wee speech at the start of the adventure. Speaking of the adventure, how you actually get Bad Juju is you have to obviously play a bit of Menagerie. You have to unlock the Triumph Hall, or the Tribute Hall even, and when you get there you have to speak the Castle statue, unlock everything. Yeah, I think you have to get about 20 tributes or something like that, and every couple tributes you place down you will get a dog tribute, and if you place a dog tribute down then there's 5 dog tributes you need, and you place them around the chest in the centre. When you place all 5 down, it unlocks the adventure, and basically you play the adventure in the Ascended Realm in the Leviathan. You complete it and you get Bad Juju, so it's pretty good. The Catalyst itself is obtained by placing down 45 tributes in the Tribute Hall, and the Catalyst I think just requires kills in order to like make it be a thing, but obviously it generates orbs, and whenever you fully get the Catalyst it increases the duration of String of Curses by about 1.5 seconds. So instead of it being 3.5 seconds, say, it's 5 seconds instead, which is pretty useful, and I think of it as basically being Rampage Spec, because Rampage Spec is a very similar thing, and String of Curses is basically Rampage Spec on some sort of drug, so it's pretty good. The second thing what the Catalyst does is it also increases the probability of the green Firefly explosion happening. So Bad Juju basically has this hidden perk which triggers a hive explosion whenever you get a precision kill, but it only happens very rarely, and whenever you get the Catalyst it happens a bit more often, but you may never see it whenever you're using the weapon without the Catalyst. Whenever you get the Catalyst it does happen a lot more regularly from what I know, so I don't think it really does anything other than maybe causing an explosion. It is basically Firefly, or yeah, it is basically just Firefly, except it's green and it's a hive explosion, so yeah. So the weapon is very good in every game mode I would say, but in PvE specifically it's very good for killing ads. Obviously whenever you get a kill, no matter if it's a precision kill or a body kill or whatever, it refills your magazine, so you just have to kill something and refill your mag, which is very useful. It is 27 bullets in a mag, I believe, and that's about 9 pulses you can have, 9 bursts you can have, which is pretty nice. But obviously you can probably do that infinitely if you keep killing ads. It's a very good ad killing weapon basically, because it not only regens your super, it also refills your mag, and it also does increase damage based on how many stacks of string of curses you have, which is pretty useful. So in PvE, it destroys things. In PvP, specifically Crucible, it's pretty good as well. Now, I don't play Crucible, as I've said before, but I was actually able to do pretty decently with it in Crucible, which surprises me, because it was a similar story with Outbreak, where I was actually doing okay with Outbreak Perfected, but with Bad Juju I was doing pretty well as well, so I would say it's pretty good in Crucible as well. But obviously, I'm not a Crucible player, so you're better off using it yourself to try to determine that, but we're watching some other gameplay of it or whatever, but basically I thought it was okay. And obviously it regens super in Crucible as well. It's only a tiny bit though, it's much more useful in PvE for the super regenning, but if you're able to get quite a few kills in Crucible, then I guess it can be pretty useful. In Gambit, it's also extremely useful because obviously supers in Gambit are very valuable, because if you use the likes of Tether, which I do all the time, you can use Bad Juju to get your Tether a bit quicker, because you're killing ads mainly in Gambit, aren't you? So if you keep killing ads, you'll keep getting more super energy and you'll get Tether a bit faster. You can then use Orpheus Rigs, so as whenever you do use Tether, you get most of your energy back from Orpheus Rigs, and then you can sort of cap it off with Bad Juju, and you can keep doing that over and over again in order to get more moves. So it's pretty useful in that regard. The weapon itself does kill things very quickly as well. The pseudo rampage that it has with String of Curses is very good as well, because it increases your damage every time you get a kill, and obviously refills your magazine and all that stuff and fires full auto because auto burst. So it's very nice. And the hip fire grip thing I never noticed. I've only noticed after actually reading the perk descriptions. But yeah, no String of Curses is very good, and it's just a very nice weapon to have. It really isn't a difficult weapon to obtain either, which is surprising considering that it's on the same level as Outbreak and Whisper, and they were both these very long timed quests that you had to actually complete with a fire team of like 3 people. So it's very surprising that it's just an adventure that you have to do to get it, but it's a very good adventure. I can't fault it. The music in it's very nice, and like it's one of my favourite tracks from Destiny 2, like ever. The track that plays during the Bad Juju quest. So it's a very nice weapon. It's got a very nice quest to accompany it, and that's about it, I would say. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you find it a bit useful, and hopefully you go on and get Bad Juju, because it's not that difficult to get. It's actually really easy to get, and I would recommend using the boons though, the boons of opulence, to get a discount, because it is pretty like a hefty price to get all the tributes. So I would recommend getting all the discounts. But Bad Juju is good, Catalyst makes it even better, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.